Okay. Is everyone here? Alex, Abstruse, Oddie.
Yes.
I'm present.
No,
Thank you. Excellent. And of course, Jonas is here. Super Busy is here.
What? No, I'm not.
I'm not.
Oh, darn it. We've lost them again. Well, guys, we're just going to have to postpone it another week, aren't we?
Oh, such a shame.
It's such a shame, Oddie. Well, I mean, we
So
didn't
unfortunate.
we didn't need them anyway. So, good morning, everybody, or afternoon, or your regional equivalent. Wow, that was interesting.
It was a disgusting
Had
time.
trouble saying that.
I have very much trouble
For
saying
once.
that.
He's a bit rusty.
I'm a bit rusty. Anyway, welcome to Forever Cold Stars, with Deep A102, a rebel battalion, a rebel battalion infiltration squad deep in Ellison lines, attempting to locate one of the Ellison's command centers, which has eluded the rebel battalion and is causing them a lot of danger and grief. Nonetheless, last time they went to go find one of their fellow rebels' bunkers, and they found it. They actually rescued one of the guys who is now in stasis. He's been healed and stuck in one of the stasis pods. He's not conscious. He can't talk. He's just so you just left him there until you can offload him on perhaps A43 or whatever's going to happen. But in the
I
meantime,
completely forgot we got him.
yes, I'm sure you did. It wasn't the major concern, because the major concern was bumping into a small Starglow force who were apparently left there by who did I say, A71 or was it A95? Either way, I think no, it's A71. A71 left some Starglow units there for some reason. Perhaps they captured them or got them somehow. But either way, there was a Starglow leader unit there, and two little units that they obviously brought with as well. And A102 bumped into this team, and Oddie managed to get a very high computers roll, and I think Lang or something, I don't know. Anyway, he managed
My
to...
persuasion and Audie's computers. If
Oh,
memory
yes.
serves.
Thank you, Jonas. You're right. Okay, persuasion as well. That makes sense. So, combination of persuasion as computers, Audie managed to basically set up an ad hoc language. A very ad hoc language. And you were able to roughly communicate with them, and basically they wanted you to give them transport somewhere, and you said okay, fine, because you didn't want to get into a fight, and also just to see what would happen. So
And to get access to the base to salvage, mostly.
absolutely,
That was the main reason, at least from my point of view.
yeah, I get you. Why is the medium fabricator in Growlner's office? I'm just asking.
I do not know.
Super Busy, what have you done? Why are you messing with this shit?
I mean, there's a random terminal in the hallway as well.
Yeah, it's Super Busy's doing. He's been doing some.
I did nothing. What are you talking about?
Super Busy's been doing some remodeling of your starship. Soon you'll find out that you can only fly backwards. Anyway.
Oh no, that feature's already activated.
Oh damn
I was about to say, I think Rollner would just take that one as a challenge.
it! He would just take it as a challenge. Growlner is actually a little bit jumpy. So during the week, so you had your mission, and then a week went by as you flew to the next destination, and as you did some of your personal projects and did other things. Super Busy, by the way, has completed his concussion rifle project. You can now build it.
Wow.
You also
The
have
initial prototype.
yeah, the initial prototype, and it's okay. The more you use it, the much better it will get, which is the way everything will kind of work. Yeah. So anyway, that's that. I've also rejiggered fabrication data. It's a lot cleaner and just easier to work with. Secondarily, yeah. So that's done. Oddie, I've set up AIV's character sheet, by the way. You should have access to it. Oddie?
Yeah.
Go look in primes and go look in support, and you should find AIV.
Yeah, I've got it.
Nice, and you can change your bio and do whatever you want with it. So there's a few abilities, but yeah. So just I've given you the basic thing that you can start toying around with.
Thank you.
Enjoy. She might end up being quite useful. Anyway, so Oddie has been screwing around on his machines, and the Starglow inspired him, and he finally managed to bash out a light prototype of his little AI that he's been working on for the longest time. In the meantime, Malcolm and David and Alex set up a little defensive perimeter to watch the Starglow, sitting over in the cargo room. And throughout the week, they've been very quiet. They've just sat there. They haven't moved. They haven't even blinked. They haven't glowed. They've just sat there. They've actually been very very behaved.
And that feel when the star glow don't glow.
Yeah.
What are they even doing?
Yeah. You're not sure why that is, but nonetheless. So you are en route. Let me actually, anything else I need to point out? Well, I'll get to it just now. Anyway, so you guys, if I take you over to the zone map, and it doesn't take too long to load in, it might take a little while to.
It's already loaded for me.
Okay, no, sorry, my view was weird. Okay, so you guys are en route to @3892, which you remember is also the location of one of the LSN's dry docks. So the Starglow units, when you talk to them and they requested to go somewhere, they also requested to send the communication through your ship. It was also very loud, and as you left the solar system, a number of LSN readings were inbound.
Yeah.
So you are very cognizant of that. Nonetheless, as you were traveling to @392, let me bring up, if I can, but where is it now? Recent news. Let's bring up recent news. So let's go down to zone and let's read some of the recent news. Local last stand Navy broadcast 3587-0817, obtraction 0601, or danger complete, or I can't exactly remember what one meant, but anyway, I made it up and I'm forgetting. It's fine. So, attention all civilian elements. The solar system of @4220's APUC. Access prohibited unless cleared. Any and all vessels within @42220 are requested to report to Alpha Class Vessel 491-233-685 Lontura, under the command of Superior Captain Andal Romayan. Reason? Military level incident. Interesting. Another bit of poignant news is this is Zone 4's The Understar. The Understar is like a local newspaper, basically, but they're kind of a bit conspiracy theoristy in that sense. They're fun. So this is The Understar with your weekly dose of information the protectorates aren't going to tell you. Actually, let me make this a bit wider. Advert discarded. Today, big problems. Fear for your life. A few days ago, a loud, non-directed, heavy data ping was sent out from @4220 with the frequency strength to say it came from a ship in the Kind-class range. This data ping, though drowned out by the masses of other data going about the sector, let alone the zone, held some pretty strange stuff, matching what our experts believe to be a Starglow Rift locator ping. Scary stuff. And anyone listening in, like the Navy, would have jumped on it the second they saw it. Advert discarded. What makes us more certain is that they've deployed an Alpha-class warship by their own admittance. I mean, how often does a zone like us get visited by an Alpha-class? Yeah, no. Readers, this is serious business. Does this mean that the scruff reports of Starglow we've been getting from you, our readers, is true? Only time will tell before the dying of the Understars. Chief Editor Roland March. Interesting. You've made a bit of a noise.
Fair enough.
An Alpha-class vessel has arrived.
Yeah.
That's not okay. It's not okay at
No,
all.
it's very much not okay.
You'll be fine.
Will it though?
So, to remind anyone watching, or anyone here who does not remember, beta classes, kind class ships are the thing you're in. It's like 100 meters long. Well, kind classes are about a kilometer in length at maximum. And they go from anywhere from civilian tiny ships to decently sized ships. Then you have beta classes, which are in about the 2 kilometer to 4 kilometer range. 4 kilometer to 6 kilometer. I think it's 6 kilometer. Anyway, then we have the alpha class ships, which go from 6 kilometers to 12 kilometers. And alpha classes are very big, very dangerous vessels. Beta classes are also very big, they're very dangerous vessels, but the alpha is obviously way more so. Anyway, so an LSN alpha vessel is over there, so that's
And then there's Omegas, but you know.
Yeah, we don't talk about them.
Details.
Then there's also Deltas and Orions. Anyway, so.
Yeah.
But we won't worry about them for now. So there's
you know, the Alphas of Orion, but you know.
yeah.
Eh.
Alphas of Orion are super fun. Anyway, so there's an Alpha class vessel now at 4220. You cannot go there ever. That's a very bad idea. Generally because Alpha class ships have very good sensory systems. Even for something like a VGP, they could pick it up in the same solar system. So that's off the board.
Road trip 4220.
Sorry?
Anyone? Road trip to 4220.
Please no.
super busy wants to go inspect their air exchanges. It's an Alpha class ship, must have amazing ones, I must say. It's busy.
Maybe I can make a cannon to destroy the Alpha ship.
Yeah, probably. Just blow
With
it
their
up.
own air-
Blow it up from the inside with its own oxygen. That's clever, you know. So anyway, you guys sail off.
I mean, if we switch the oxygen makes to be mostly oxygen, we can just light a fucking flame, and the entire thing's gonna go up.
Boom. Absolutely.
To be fair,
To be fair.
you know, details.
So that's the news that has transpired lately. So okay, you guys. So okay, let me get back on track. So the Starglow guys, obviously, they sent out that ping, which you have no clue what it was. It was an information packet. You captured it. You have it.
Yep.
You can.
You have no clue what it was. Looks at the news.
Yeah. Yes.
You were
yes.
saying.
You
It's
have.
almost like you wrote exactly what it was.
Okay, but that's just news. You don't know exactly what it is. You have a hunch. Let's say you have a hunch. You have a very strong
We're
hunch.
pretty damn certain.
You're pretty damn certain. Damn it. Okay, fair enough then. All right, you've beaten me. So anyway,
I mean, you beat yourself.
I did beat my. Well, I put it in there for a reason. So nonetheless, so you guys go off towards at 3892. Okay, and you arrive in the solar system. Let me bring up my little descriptor. 3892. Let's show it to players because it's going to be important later on. So I might as well get this over and done with. The solar system of at 3892 is a strange one. An inner ring of nearly 18 planets swirl gently around an overreactive, massive star that pulses solar flares. Malcolm notes that the dry dock A95 we're investigating resides somewhere in that ring. The outer ring, comprised of only 5 planets, would seem to be home to a number of mining cities. You watch as beta-class crust harvesters, likely heavily shielded, sail into the depths of the system's inner ring. The Starglow Hulk, which is the big unit that's sitting in your cargo hold, deploys its antenna and waits. So they've been inert the whole week. You finally get here, the Hulk wakes up. As far as you can see, it starts to show. And its antenna just climbs out of its back and unfurls and starts to listen. It just waits there. A passive LSN beacon notes the system as a minor military post and warns about the obvious solar danger from the flares and things. You sit there and wait. And you wait quietly. And you give it like a good couple minutes. Then an hour rolls by. And the unit stops. It stops scanning and it lowers its antenna. Oddie, you look down at your communication pad and you see that it sent you a message. And it basically says, this area is no longer where we must be. Our point has moved. Okay, interesting. You say, okay, well, where must you go now? It sends you the coordinates for at 6212. Which is a kind of close by-ish. So you go, okay, interesting. You make a note of that. You remember, okay. So it's at 6212. Jonas, captain. Well, actually, Grelner's pilot, but nonetheless, Jonas is squad leader. What do you want to do, squad leader?
I mean, I'd say we head there. The less time we have the Starglow on our ship, the fucking better. Frankly.
Okay. All right, Growlner nods his
I
head.
want these things. I want these things off my ship as soon as possible.
Yeah, Growlner nods his head, very much so. He's like, I don't trust those bloody glow sticks. Growlner like pulls you guys aside, and he's like, I don't trust those things. Just look at them. They're just sitting there, just quietly. Growlner's worried. Throughout the whole week, he's like sipping his cup of tea and just he's turned one of the bridge monitors into one of the so the cargo room has a couple of cameras in it. He just has one of the monitors strictly that camera. He just watches it all day and night. So okay. So he's like, okay, sure. And he punches you got in and you VMP, you VGP, all the way to at 6212. And you arrive in the solar system. Okay. So let me show this. I'll skim over it a bit. So the solar system of 6212. Quiet, calm. 3 planets sit in a surprisingly matched orbit around the soft white star that pulses gently. 1 planet would seem to have been abandoned halfway through a terraforming operation. Its ground mass covered in off-green covering that shows pseudograss had better luck in its atmosphere than most substantial biology. The Starglow Hulk unit stands quietly for several minutes. Its antenna extends. A beeping reverberates through the hangar bay. The large orb, which is the big, what you assume to be a leader unit.
The command unit.
Yeah, the command unit. Now glowing at a high brightness. Growler. Hey team, we've got a low-spec Noid out here. Real quiet like and real old. He means old in terms of the incursion for making the Noid is quite an old link. Not that the actual Noid was sent long ago. That's what he means. Johnny again looks down at his datapad and sees a bit language he had made to communicate with the glow. That thing is equal to that thing. Go to this blah blah blah. In English, this is the place. Take us to 6212's 3rd planet. That same off-green world. The Hulk keeps its antenna up. It's still listening, and the engineer unit just quietly sits there. So Jonas, gonna go into the planet. Or do you want to look around first?
I mean, what kind of scanning gear do we have on board on the ship?
You've got pretty substantial scanning gear. I mean, the Rebel Battalion invested nicely in your ship, so you sit there quietly.
I want to do at least a bit of scanning of that on that world before we go down.
Okay. So
just to see breathable atmosphere, yes, no, and a bunch of other, just the basics mostly, but
yeah.
So nothing too in depth.
Okay. All right. You take your little ship closer to this 3rd planet, with
also power signatures, if any.
Sure. You're gonna scan for the power signatures, and of course you're gonna lower yours as much as possible. I'm assuming. Yeah, naturally. So you quiet the whole ship down, turn off all the unnecessary stuff. You quiet down the VGP. You're going very, very slowly, so you're making effectively no signature. And with a VGP, that is even less of nothing. It's like the faintest whisper in a dark corridor. So you just slowly go towards the planet, and you sit above it, and you kind of just give it a gentle scanning. Try not to give yourself away. And you scan, and you look, and around about the North Pole, you see this relatively big superstorm moving across it. And it's kind of swirling, lots of different colors, and it's like got little lightning going off of it. But in the very center of it, you don't read anything. There isn't a heat reading, there isn't an energy signature, it's just nothing. I mean, the whole planet's got like a bit of an ambient energy to it because it's got heat and lots of other stuff. But at the very center of the storm, the eye of the storm, there's just nothing. It's quiet. And that's vaguely off-putting.
Even if we go directly above it?
You want to go directly above it? Okay. So, like how directly above it? It's still like in orbit or going above it? Okay, sure.
In orbit, directly above the eye of the storm.
Sure. You bring the ship over the eye of the storm, and you look down into it. It's about, give or take, 8 kilometers in diameter. And on the other end, it's just black with like these little white dots in it at weird intervals.
I think something's hiding.
And this big storm is just swirling around it. And it's just sitting there.
Is the storm moving, or is it centered on that point?
It's centered on that point, definitely. There are parts of its exterior that are like moving and flying around, but it's based on that point. Yeah.
Yeah. I more meant, is the core moving? at
Okay.
all?
Yeah.
Like,
No.
is the eye of the storm moving?
Yeah. No. The eye of the storm is solid. It's standing
Alright.
still.
Yep, that's some
weird.
sick fucking weather tech.
So the Starglow units, the Starglow Hulk sends you another communication, Oddie, and he basically says, "This location is correct. Bring us closer." Okay. Growlner looks at you and goes like, what?
Well,
I mean,
I might send him a
I-
message saying, "Are you sure this could tear us apart?"
You,
You included.
To be fair, to be fair, if the eye of the storm reaches high enough, and it's 8 kilometers in diameter, we can just go in straight into the eye of the storm.
yeah,
Storm shouldn't affect us at that point.
absolutely. Yeah, it's like 8 kilometers across. Above it, there's nothing. It's only off to the sides, like spiraling
Yeah, so
outwards as the
we
storm.
can just go straight down.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay. Is that what you're gonna say to old Growlner?
Yeah.
Dive, Growlner. Okay. Growlner looks at you. He looks at the eye of the storm. He takes his cup of a coffee, or as we called in the Evercold War, stimulant water. No one calls it that.
I mean,
Nonetheless,
I'm just gonna. I'm not even gonna say, yeah, take us down. I'm just gonna say, so, can you do it or not?
Growlner looks at this and he takes a sip, puts
Because
his cup
gotta
down,
give him a challenge.
and he's
I
like,
sit in the co-pilot seat and just pat him on the shoulder. Just be like, we'll be good.
"We'll be good. We'll be good." He looks at you so busy, and he squints. He looks at you so busy. He looks back to the big console with the swirling storm all zoomed in. And he starts to nod slowly, and you can see this little smile start on the side of his mouth. He's like, "Yeah, let's give this a go." And he just, but without, before any of you even say a thing, he's hands down on the controls, and the ship is just diving. It's just going,
Yes.
and you drop
This
several.
is why I'm happy. This is why I'm happy. He's my pilot.
You just drop several hundred kilometers just right into the eye of the storm, and he's not an idiot, so he stops you right before he gets to the point where he can't really see anything, but there's nothing to not see. You go into the eye of the storm, and everything feels a bit weird as you cross into this. So you go basically past the horizon disappears, and you're into the eye of the storm, and it's just blackness all around you. This eye of the storm is just totally black, and you go in, and it's bizarre. You feel very weird, and Growler's like, "Hey guys." So as he's doing everything, he's obviously watching the VMP signatures and lots of other stuff, scanning information, lots of flight stuff, and he's like, "Guys, the stars, so the star of the solar system, its signature just dropped off my map. So you're now like right in the middle of this."
Alright. So, a storm that can hide anything. Basically.
I feel
I
like
don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Yes, Alex. What?
I
Audio?
feel like these.
Sorry, go, Alex.
Sorry, Alex.
I feel like this may easily be artificial, just to hide some sort of base or beacon.
You think? It's an eye of it's an eye of a storm that isn't moving and hiding all signatures.
Yeah.
I'm pretty damn certain it's artificial.
Jonas agrees.
There isn't anything natural that could do this, putting it bluntly.
Oddie, what did you say?
I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Oh, I see. Oh, I
Yeah.
literally did not
Which
hear
is
that.
what I laughed at.
That's great. Buckle your Kansas, Dorothy. Your seatbelt is going bye-bye.
Alright,
Okay. So,
take us downwards slowly.
okay, he takes you down.
Let's see if we can let's see if either A, we can see the ground, or B, we hit the ground. So,
I already rolled
very
perception,
slowly.
so
Percent-
there's mine.
Abstruse, you're watching all the monitors and systems, but you don't tell anything, unfortunately. Too low. So you go downwards and you go into the eye of the storm. You go through it. On the other side is nothing. You're greeted by space. Literally stars on the other
And
side.
that's why I said I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, because I had a feeling I know what this was.
And you
Oh
look,
wow! So we just went through a random portal.
and you
That's an actual physical rift on a planet. Mother.
So when I say
Glow. Fuck's sake.
so when I say stars, there's basically like three. There's three little dots. There's just nothing. It's completely black. There's three little dots, and one of the dots start moving towards you.
Of course they do.
And the Hulk unit tells you to quickly. It sends a very urgent message to you, Audie, to send to basically broadcast a very specific signal. Would you like to do that, Jonas?
Yes.
Okay, you broadcast the signal very quickly with all the speed able to you. So you look around, and the thing that you just came out of, which you take a wild
I'm
guess
in
is a
danger.
cystophysical rift.
I'm in danger.
The cystophysical rift is coming out, is literally on. You basically just you turn around and you see another planet behind you. The cystophysical rift is basically this, and again, there's a storm around this thing, and there's just these three. It's not a planet. It's like a platform, not a planet. I'm an idiot. Why did I say planet? It's a big metal platform, basically, all around the rift, and it's got the same kind of storm-like stuff around it. One of the glowing things comes very quickly towards you, and as the signal that you send hits it, by your estimation, it slows down a bit, and it makes a much more casual approach to you. Here. Okay. Okay, this is the one I want to show. Okay, here we go. Right, so, glowing star vessel. A large beta-class vessel, nearly 2 kilometers wide and 2 kilometers long. Its hull glows dimly from afar. It could look just like another background star. Beam-like weapons are mounted regularly across its surface. 2 specially large 100-meter weapons draw your attention. Numerous scars and shattered plates show it has survived a number of attacks. It has no VMP signature that you can recognize, yet it is moving. It's most likely got a VGP of some sort. The ship approaches you.
VGPI?
Yeah, it could be Well, it's not going to be VGPI. We're not going to talk about that. But VGP, no, it's probably VGP. In fact, it has to be, because that's the only other thing it could move around with. Anyway, so you guess that it probably is.
VGPI doesn't exist.
Exactly, VGPI doesn't exist. Yeah.
Or
So
does it?
no, it doesn't exist. VGPI is just non-existent because it's anyway, whatever. So the ship obviously has VGP, much like your ship, which is a problem because it means one of two things. It means that if this ship's VGP is calibrated to a similar projection signature, it could interfere with your ship's engine, which could be terrible. And Growlner's immediately, you can see the sweat pouring. It takes a lot to make Growlner sweat, and Growlner is sweating like a dog, and he's just sitting there very quietly.
I'm gonna move to the engine room and keep an eye on it.
Please do. Growlner literally turns to you, Subiz, and he just points in the direction of the engine room, and you pat him on the shoulder, get up and walk over.
Yeah, I probably would have already been going by then, but yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, but still, like, dramatic effect. So, Subiz, you're in there, and you're watching the thing very carefully, and as far as you can see, it's all completely fine for now. This big ship comes towards you. Jonas, do you want to do anything? Is there anything you want to try? Or...
Not really.
Okay, just want to let it come towards and just embrace fate. All right. I'm happy.
I mean, there's not much else we can do.
I agree.
Putting it that way.
agree. So this big ship comes
One more
towards you.
thing for no reason.
One more thing. Go for it. This massive ship comes towards you, and it just goes over you. And it's got a number of like these docking ports and things. One of them,
Detect fire, maybe.
the bot directs you to go dock at one of the ship's entrances, and you take the ship and you take your ship gently over it, and there's this quite big docking port, which as you approach it, its metal begins to shift and move. And actually, like most common docking ports, it auto-regulates to the size of the ship that's coming into dock with it. That's actually quite common amongst like normal stations. They have auto-adjusting docking ports, and this thing does the same. Metal changes and shifts to accommodate the size of your cargo bay's exit port. And you come down gently. Jonas, do you want to dock the cargo bay to it or your back entrances? Your back entrances you'd actually have to jump out and into. The cargo bay port, you could actually lower the ramp. Which do you prefer?
Back entrance.
Okay. So you set the ship down on its back and you gently... Let me actually just quickly... Okay, so you're going to go back entrance. Okay, fine. Let me just coordinate a few things. Okay, so all right. So you guys, dock with your back entrance, and and I'm assuming so. Okay, you have the Starglow units with you, and there are you guys. What you're gonna do? Are you gonna escort them to the back and then walk them out, or what's gonna happen?
Probably, yeah. Escort them to the back.
All right. Okay, you walk with the units. By the way, everyone grabs their weapons and armor.
Obviously. If you hadn't said that, I would have been saying it.
Guys, you have a moment to change your armor mods. So you can either have, +2 kinetic, +2 energy, or +1 to all with -2 meters of movement, which is what Alex currently has, for example.
I would recommend energy, but
Yeah.
if you want to go all, that is up to you as well.
Yeah. So guys, quickly set your armor, make a note of it, whether you're using the kinetic, the energy, or the +1 to all versus the +2 to energy kinetic. Make a quick note of that. Make your final decision on what weapons you'd like. Yeah.
Does it ever change?
I mean, I'm just making sure that you guys have the weapons you want, because you can't really change it. Anyway, but I mean, you guys are all happy with your guns, so it actually doesn't matter. Anyway, so you guys go to the airlock. You all seal your helmets and everything. Growler turns on your ship's internal defense turrets for obvious reasons. The mech marine is still sadly lying disassembled because Alex has been looking through its parts and trying to learn about it, so it's out of the fight. Anyway, well, out of the encounter. Shit. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, it's fine. Okay.
I feel like this is the kind of situation I will have been a lot more comfortable with in like 20 sessions.
Well, sometimes we have to make things move.
We'll be fine.
And also sometimes
you have to run before you can walk.
Sometimes you have to run before you can walk. So this is gonna be
Sometimes random people want to create diplomacy with aliens.
alien robots. They're not even alien, but still, with murder robots. There are no aliens. Anyway, so Jonas, the Starglow units are with you. You open up the back access port and you walk down into this entrance segment. Are they going to go first, or are you going to go first? Are they going to go in front of you, or will you go in front of them?
Them first, free body shields.
Except that
They turn around and attack us, yeah.
Yeah, that's not how that would work.
Yeah.
Abstruse goes first.
Okay. Oh yes. Also, please, yeah. Who's at the front and who's at the back and what's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Abstruse. Order I would prefer is Abstruse, Alex, me, Audie, and then Super Busy.
okay, cool.
And they're all behind us. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, not necessarily, but put the bots in between me, Audie, and Super Busy.
Okay. Put the bots. Okay, yeah. Let me
the
actually
third row
just
between me and Audie and Super Busy.
yeah, let me actually just show you the map because I'm being an idiot. Okay. You walk in, and the bots are between like this. Is this how you wanted it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
Exactly.
Okay, guys, you can adjust yourselves a little bit if you want within that relative area of space.
This is fine.
This is fine. This is fine. Okay. So so obviously you three lead the way and the other two watch the back.
Nobody used my perception check, so does it apply now?
Roll it again. I mean, all that stuff was while you're in space, and you guys were looking. I mean, didn't really see much else. It's fine. Give me a perception check now, Abstruse. You can do it now.
I just tried, but it didn't roll.
Okay, give it a moment. It might be lagged. Anyway, so you guys enter, and obviously you have your helmets sealed because you doubt the robots have anything to breathe. Oh,
And
that's
13,
nice.
Which won't apply.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, you got a very high perception roll. All right. So Abstruse is obviously leading the way, and he's very careful. And immediately he notices that, well, the ground here, this entryway is quite dirty in a sense. It's got a lot of like dirt on it and other things. But this is planetary dirt and lots of other stuff. And it looks like boot prints almost. So it would seem other people have been through here or something along those lines. Obviously, you see the pod on your left, which looks strikingly familiar. From this distance, Abstruse recognizes it as, well, one of the Deep A pods. Don't know whose. You would guess probably A95s, since they're the only pod you have unaccounted for. Was it A95? Was it? Okay, anyway, whatever. One of them.
It's 95 or 71.
Yeah, it's 95 or 71's pod. I can't remember who. Oh. Okay, I need to now look at this because this is going to bother me forever. You guys recovered. You guys recovered Dom Acom last time. He was the guy you recovered in R021. Recovered R02. Not R021. The bunker. Sorry, the bunker.
Yeah.
So Dom, and he's of A71. So you found A71's pod. This is A1995's pod then. Okay, sorry. Wow, I had to sort that out. Otherwise, I was going to get very annoyed with myself. Okay, so this would evidently be probably A95's pod, which is very interesting. Especially since A91 were the guys that captured the Starglow units in the first place. So something weird must have happened there. Anyway.
71. You
Yeah.
said 91.
So, okay. Just going to have to fix my words for me in post. We'll fix it in post. Anyway.
We'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post. So you enter this area and it is, I mean, otherwise, besides this dirt of the tracked area, it is immaculately clean. And there's all these, it's very black and white, obviously, as you can see. There are these white lights that streak across the ground in weird patterns. And there are these very, very polished, almost overly polished metal plates. And then these rougher plates in the middle, which are a little bit elevated by a couple centimeters. On your right, there's a small civilian ship of some description with some odd red stuff clinging to the side of it where it looks like its access door is. You try not to think about it. Nonetheless, you all walk. Shall I bring up? I'll bring up a turn timer. Why not? Just so that you guys can pick your own orders.
By the way, what is that round circle to our left?
Round circle to your left.
What?
Oh, that's the command unit, the leader unit. That's on the
Core.
yeah, it's the core that's on the Hulk's back. Yeah, remember the Hulk's back is literally attached to it. He's got like a weird pincer thing that's holding it very securely.
Yeah, I just basically want to move up from the full formation a bit until I'm about here. So
Yeah.
move up with me, please.
Yeah,
Gentlemen.
you guys are free to move and move where you'd like, of course. Okay. Wait, I need to actually move these on the other screen. The Starglow units walk. The Hulk is walking very heavily behind you. Otherwise, it's quite quiet. You can't smell this room. Obviously, there's basically no atmosphere. But you're looking at all this stuff around you, and there's just it's what it is. I don't need to say it. You walk forward. You walk forward carefully and gently. As you walk forward, you actually can't hear anything. You can hear something. There is a light atmosphere, but there isn't one you can breathe, is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can hear in the distance through the light atmosphere, you can hear the boom 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 of heavy machines and robots and other things. You walk forward, literally, with the mix, and you stop kind of in the middle. The Hulk kind of stops. And there's this big door at the other side. And behind you, the big access door begins to close, and it goes. Luckily, there's a little uber steel pipe that Super Busy left in the way. That's just holding the door open a little bit because he didn't trust it at all. So nonetheless, this is like a tiny little entrance. Anyway, you guys walk forward, and it's quiet, and there's this very annoying white glow everywhere. But it's actually kind of comforting in its own weird way. It's annoying, but it's very kind of nice. And there's this massive door at the other side, and it gently begins to move to one side. And I actually need to fix that unit. Okay.
Flying both riot shields.
Yeah, pull back to with me as well then. So back one. Please.
Yeah. You guys deploy your riot shields. So have you stopped walking? Or are you just going to stay there and let the other units walk around?
Let them come to us.
Kaboom, 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 kaboom. The engineer and the Hulk walk around you. And in the distance, there are another two. There's another pair of these big Hulk units, and an accompanying engineer, almost as if this is like a standard pairing thing that the Starglow do, which is interesting. Nonetheless, you make that observation, and they walk towards you. The Hulk unit literally just keeps walking, and as he gets to these other two units, they make way for it, and it just walks
makes sense.
off into the bowels of the ship, with the engineering unit walking along with it. Sorry, no. What am I saying? The engineering unit stops as the Hulk is walking off, and it turns around to you, and it approaches you. Oddie, you you quickly eye your data pad, and you look to see if it sends you any message. It does. It sends you a simple message which says, location achieved, basically. Thank you. Location achieved. Thank you.
And now we're in a different galaxy.
No, well,
I mean, that's a change.
you're somewhere.
Or no.
As this is all happening, Growlner calls you on your short-range radio, and he says, "Sir, I think we're in the sister physical." He's like, "I don't see stars. There's no mass gravitic signatures, we're either somewhere deep in null void or in like the sister physical, from what I know. I mean, I've never been in them myself. I don't know why I'm going a bit cockney there. Not cockney. Mafioso. A bit Mario. I don't know why I'm doing that for Paul Grellner. So he says basically either you're somewhere in the deep null void, and the null void is basically outside of the galaxy. It's just empty space. There's nothing for like light years in any direction. So he says you're either in null void space, or you're in the sister physical, from what he's read and some of the literature that he's read on the topic.
And both are equally worrying.
Both are equally worrying. But he also then says our VGP is working, so we're probably not that far away from a galaxy if we are outside of one or anything like that.
Otherwise, we'd all be dead.
Well, your VGP would have burnt out once you had gone through the portal, the rift.
And we'd be dead.
No, it would just burn out. You wouldn't die.
Pod still has VPI.
Yeah, but the VMPI would also burn out. Remember, all forms of vectored propulsion burn out once they get too far away from a major gravitic mass.
Isn't VMPI worse than VGP in terms of null void?
Yes, VGP is a little bit better, but anyway, let's not discuss semantics. Not semantics. Let's not discuss vimpetics. There we go, vimpetics. That's technically what you call it. I like vimpetics. I like to call VGP and VMP vimpetics because it's just fun. Okay, so anyway, they all walk off. The Growler's like, hey, we're probably in the sister physical or we're outside the galaxy. Cool, okay. Second of all, the engineer approaches you and he says, he sends you that short little one, and you basically send back, okay. What do you send back, Oddie? Do you want to say anything to him? Or Jonas, any of you, super busy, does any of you want Oddie to say something?
No problem.
Cool, okay.
Happy to help.
Anyone else?
No, sounds
Possibly glad everything went without complications.
Good. Nice choice of words.
So, we just exit the rift? Is that up?
The door is sealed behind you. Well, okay. Super busy jammed a bit of pipe in, so it's not entirely sealed. It's almost sealed. But, well, it's trying to close, but it's uber steel, so it doesn't care. It's just sitting there. There's a nice opening in the door in case you need to try and squeeze your way out. But anyway. So yeah, what was I saying? Crap. Right. So Oddie sends the, we're no problem. Glad to help. I'm very glad it went without complication. The engineer unit transmits back to you. You are an excellent example of human ingenuity and working with what's the word? No. Cooperation. We would like to preserve you for all time. You are a glorious example.
I expected this. Expected this so hard. Alright. I've wanted to say this for a while. Torch these glow sticks.
Yes, so
Alex, do you volunteer?
everyone please give me your what's it called? Initiative rolls. Please give me your initiative rolls. And
This
Alex, do you
only go
volunteer?
well.
in case anyone is watching and doesn't know what that means, the Starglow have a very
I saw this coming out fucking miles away.
I'm glad. Yeah, well, you see, you know the
It's
law.
the start, though.
You know the law.
Yes.
The
I do.
Starglow like to do three things. Either they turn you into basically a cyborg kind of, or they turn you into a brain computer, or they literally turn you into a carbon statue and put you in a museum of living statues where they commemorate the existence of humanity. It would seem they're
get
offering.
Distinct feeling we would be the third.
Yes, it's kind of like a tier system. 3 is kind of like most people. 2 is pretty good, and 1 is like excellent. So, yeah, no, they're not going to let you go without a fight, unfortunately.
Yeah, I expected this.
What are you going to say in response?
I will.
Yeah,
maybe...
sure. Let us stand here and let you do it to us.
Okay, Oddie,
Let's hope they understand sarcasm.
what I'm saying is Oddie. Okay, so Oddie sends him a very sarcastic reply. Alex, yes, what did you want to say?
I will maybe try to attempt to explain that cooperation only wants if both parts get something
Okay.
positive out of it,
Okay.
and losing your life is like the 100% worst case scenario.
Here's
No
what
one
they
wants
would
to
say.
cooperate
Here's
now.
what they would say.
No,
We're
just
not
send
losing
it.
our lives. We're
Send
living
it.
forever because they're serving us.
Oddy, Oddy, do you want to send the message anyway, just to see what their response is going to be?
Yeah, we'll have it go through his communication, so it looks like it came from him.
Sure. Okay. So you send the communication, and okay. So guys, you're allowed to make some moves. You're allowed to prepare yourselves. You're allowed to get yourselves in the positions. You have basically 1 round's worth of movement before anything happens.
6 meters to move.
Sorry?
Is
Yeah.
it 6 meters to move?
Yeah, 6 meters. 6 meters. Okay. So Alex attempts to communicate with them. So Alex talks to Oddy. Oddy sends it to them. Okay. So Alex is like, hey, corporation it works, and which is like a nice point. And then the AI, well, the engineer says back to him. Well, says back to Oddy. The engineer says back. Yes, and we intend to provide you with an eternal reward so that you may serve the glow forever. Okay.
Yeah, I still send a sarcastic message back to him. Sure, I'll happily do.
The engineer unit replies to audio with, "That is good. I am glad you are very optimistic about this premise." He does.
Can I have like a minute to myself to say goodbye to myself?
All right.
The engineer says, "You will have eternity to say goodbye to yourself."
Most optimistic, polite, and extremely brutal. Good to know. Right.
Oh, I love the Star Glow. They're so fun. So you all prepare yourselves for combat operations. The engineer is okay. So the engineer made his move. The Hulk now needs to make their. By the way, these Hulk units don't have that heavy machine gun that the other one had. These Hulk units just have that big Alulon laser cannon.
Didn't the other Hulk also have a list?
Sorry, it did as well.
Sure it does.
Yes, sorry, it did as well.
Yeah.
It did as well. But these ones don't have that extra gun, is all I'm saying.
If we survive this combat, we are definitely harvesting those lasers.
Perfect.
If we have time,
Handheld version.
if we have time, yes.
If you have time.
I don't care if we have time. If we have to fight another round, I'm getting those lasers.
Oh, I love it.
Alright, fair enough.
Let me. Oh, damn it! I just did it twice. Oh, shit.
We have about 20 minutes though.
Okay. Well, listen. I mean, we'll continue it next time as well. I mean, this isn't going to be over in 20 minutes, but we can definitely get somewhere.
yeah.
We can definitely get somewhere. Let me.
We can fire the first shots.
We can fire the first shots.
We can
Okay.
use this first.
One of these is quite literally called glow stick.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's like what most people in the FCW call them. It's like the bloody glow sticks. You don't want to be nice to the thing. Yes?
Just to see what the response is.
Sure, Alex. Okay.
Simply, is there any options for not being preserved in static form?
Sure. You send the message through, and you get the response. The engineer says to you, "You will be preserved. You will be preserved based on the regulations of the overseeing authorities. If your mental structures are of useful intent for the glow, you might indeed receive a lower position than merely being preserved for eternity."
Yeah, I'd not tell him this because I know what he wants. I'm not telling him this.
No, that's not
I'm
good.
just going to say the simple answer is no. There's no other options. Because I know Alex wants to become a cyborg.
No, Alex doesn't want to die. That's the thing. Alex would prefer not to be made into a statue. And basically, what the engineer said is, I can't guarantee anything. It depends how you do and what our commanders think of you. And funnily enough, the way the engineer said it, it would seem the Starglow take being preserved as like the highest honor, whereas simply being made into one of their cyborgs is like kind of the last thing they want to do, which is an interesting statement. But nonetheless, we'll let that play out. Okay, so you're all as you are. Okay. All right, you all move into position, and as you're doing so, the units, the large units walk upwards. If I can just kadunk, 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 kadunk. All right, gentlemen. Before they get any closer, you may have your turn.
Right. Well,
So, super busy, you're first. Sorry, go, Jonas.
Gentlemen, let's say no to these glow sticks in the most human way possible, shall we?
Perform a persuasion roll first, just once.
No, you've already done a persuasion roll against the Starglow. Not again.
right, just
It was what got us into this mess.
Shit. Go, super busy.
first question. What condition is this ship in that I'm currently hidden behind?
It's pretty roughed up, but it looks relatively modern. I mean, it's in good nick, but it looks like it's been looks like it's had some shots on it by like Alilon lasers and other things.
Is there enough salvageable material here to make anything if I have fun with pseudo-stimulants again?
You could maybe make like a temporary riot shield. All this is like plating and because the thing is, most of its internal structure has been stripped out. Like there's big cuts out of it. All it is basically husks and material and things. So, so you might find the odd wire.
Nothing energy based in there that I could use.
Sorry?
Nothing energy based in there that I can use. That's a shame.
You take a quick look. No, it would seem the Q reactor or whatever was powering it has already been stripped out. Starglow are efficient scavengers, although the Zorzakians would put them to shame. But nonetheless. Okay.
Starglow are efficient enough to use everything and turn it into stuff, while the Z's are efficient to use anything as it is. They can turn whatever it is into something useful. Just as it is.
I suppose so.
Yeah, super busy with.
Ignore that movement. That was,
okay.
that was me trying to scroll the screen and failing miserably because I'd already started moving my character.
That's fine. That's okay.
Right.
Super busy would be a great zealot, creating starships from air exchangers.
Oh no, you're right. Okay, anyway, so.
Right. That's my move, but at the second point when I was there, I would have taken a shot at that guy, because I'm allowed to do that.
Are you pseudo-stimulating, or what are you doing?
No, I'm sprinting and shooting.
You can't sprint and shoot. You have to sprint. Shooting is an action. Remember, so you can only sprint.
I have flanking maneuver laps.
Sorry?
I can if I have flanking maneuver.
Oh damn it! You have flanking maneuver. Okay, go for it. Who you gonna shoot and with what?
I'll just use my standard modified driver.
Okay. Take a shot.
Well, that was terrible, but never mind.
I mean, that's not bad. So, you poke out of cover.
Just a quick sorry, mate.
I effectively just sprint across the room and take a pot shot at him.
Yeah, you do take it. So, they have primarily kinetic armor, so I think that actually hits the... Does it actually? Okay, let me not be an idiot and actually pull up my
I
damn
did not
character sheet.
expect such a high persuasion roll. Just a sorry, mate.
So the engineer.
They're doing puppy eyes at them. I don't want to die.
The engineer says, "That's all right. We will remove your brain first. You will not need to suffer for long." And you're not very happy about that response, but okay. It's the best persuasion you're gonna get out of it. It's like, I don't believe it. We don't want to fight. Anyway, okay. So you take a shot. It does actually hit because these guys have primarily that. Does it wait?
Makes damage.
Yeah, it's great. It's amazing damage. That's 23. So
I mean, I can't just enter battle without a declaration, you know?
I get you. So Super Busy runs across the field using expert Rebel Battalion flanking maneuvers. He just pops a shot over his shoulder and it goes right through one of the Hulk's armor plating, and then you see a nice spats of electrical things as the nice Gelzion orb goes right through it and smacks into the wall at the other side.
I'll just post that there so I actually remember I've done it.
Yes, please. Cool. Yeah, cooldown of 2 turns. Okay. Jonas, what would you like to do? Jonas is just out in the middle of like nowhere.
Yep.
Everyone else is
And
running.
I'm gonna do this and then shoot this bastard in the face.
Okay, perfect. Take a shot. So the big ones have 14 kinetic, 16 energy. Sorry, other way around. 14 energy, 16 kinetic. Again, perfect. Okay. Okay, all right. Jonas pulls back very quickly and sends another Galzion round.
Just
Right.
just drops the shield there and goes, fuck it. Pull back to full cover with the rest.
Yeah, you just drop it and you pull and you fire. The second one goes through another one of the chest plates, right through. And you see this nice sparking and everything. It's not very happy about it. Ooh, mozzies.
Already looking rough, or does it not seem to have noticed very much?
It's looking pretty damaged. It's sparking, and there's lots of wire and a little bit of fire inside of it. It's Galzion. It's on fire inside a little bit. So it's kind of not doing great, but it's okay, sort of. Yes. So, interesting question. Hulking Glowstick. Let me have a look at you quickly. Yes. Yes, abstruse? 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 Okay. Actually. Okay, that might actually be a bit too hard.
Yeah, for what I want to attempt next move, but I'm not sure it's the best idea.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to nerf that a little bit. That could be a bit too powerful. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's go. Maybe this is too weak now. Anyway, whatever. Okay, glorified Alliolon Pulse. So this thing lifts up its big, just clean, white, glowing cannon. It's laser. It's a Alliolon Pulse cannon, and just this flash, this instant flash of light, shoots towards you, Jonas. Well, it shoots towards both you and Super Busy in a sense. So its attack was 15, which is its energy. Jonas, what armor do you have on, or what's your AC against energy?
14, but
you got cover.
Cover not matter.
Yeah. No, you got cover. You managed to dive behind, so you got basically like, say 16 because it's full, but I think more like 15 cover, because you're like kind of on the side of it. So you get like 15, so perfectly. So this powerful beam, this like instant beam of light, hits the... So Jonas, as you're pulling yourself back around this piece of cover, this beam just hits the piece of metal that you just got behind, and the piece of metal just poof, and like melts and just explodes into bubbles of like paint and metal and bits. And the other half of the beam, so half the beam hit the metal, the other half missed it and hit the wall, just hits the wall to your right, and you instantly feel the heat. Well, you don't feel it, but like if you could feel it through all your thick armor, you would feel it radiating off the wall immediately.
Alrighty
then. You throw yourself pleasantly behind the armor. You just out of the way as the beam flies past you. The other unit is going to actually just straight up target the cover. Kaboom, kaboom. So this is a cover shot, which should damage... Okay, it doesn't damage it that much, actually. Actually, it's not for much damage. So the cover takes 11 damage. It's like a 19. It's like a critical cover shot. Nonetheless, the other one raises up its cannon and goes... Boof, and you hear this nice just explosion of connection as the metal gets superheated very quickly and just explodes and sparks. Luckily, there's pretty much no oxygen here, so there's no fire or anything. But you could see how it could be a lot worse. Alex, what would you like to do?
Yeah, the best thing I can probably do is to fire.
Yeah. Who else?
And is it
Focus
possible
fire
for
on
the Star Glow to get colors?
To get colors?
Color coding, so that we can
Oh,
just
yes,
say
sorry.
which one we are firing at.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Okay, so this is going to be
That's
blue.
how between cover anyway from climbing the ship, so.
Be red. This is going to be green, and
I
this
mean, you
is
could
going to
just
be
go blue, red,
purple.
for both of
Yeah, I
Focus
could,
fire-
but I'll just make
fire
it
the
focus fire the red one.
I mean, yeah, red is
Really
really so.
Red is already very damaged. Well, quite well damaged. Yeah. Alex?
I would say 40 damage is a lot, so.
It is. It is. It is.
Which
It-
one has been the most damaged?
The red one.
red.
Red.
Okay, I will just target the red one then.
Okay. And you.
Oh,
course-
I still have the TK-30 autocannon from.
What? You still have that from the simulation. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can remove it. You could just remove that. Just put it into the right.
I never mentioned I had it.
I know. Go on. Fire your.
I never did that.
Simulation didn't end. Anyway, go on, Alex. Take your shot.
I will attempt full auto.
Okay.
Everything on the red one.
Ooh. Ah, nice. Good hit.
Yeah,
So you get 2 hits. The 16 and the 10 miss. Because the 16... Because full auto does... Wait. It's only -1 because of full auto. Oh, no, wait. Alex, were you doing steady fired full auto?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, well, then
I'm
you...
not moving anywhere.
Yeah, then you only get, what, -1 to your... What does it work out to be? It's -1, right?
Yes, 1.
Okay, you still hit. So you get 3 hits. Nice. Very nice. 3 hits with it. So -4. This is -43. -7. And -7. Very nice. Alex, you fire both of your you fire your one Illyrian SMG, and the little bullets just go. And you, what are you aiming for, Alex? Its head, I guess so, or like its gun, or like its arms. Because it's kind of
I
like.
am targeting the most glowing part except for the weapon.
Okay, sure. You aim for basically its chest, and you fire, and the lovely little Illyrian orbs hit perfect little spots, and they just go right in, and they sink in. They don't go through because it's not as powerful as Galzion, but nonetheless, it sinks in. It does some nice. You see them nice sparks fly, and a little bit of flame burst out in the few seconds as it consumes what little oxygen there even is in here, if any. Tiny little flame bursts as the thing's armor just starts to shred and buckle, and you see it start to hunch over, and there's like electrical sparks coming out of it. It's like detonating a little bit. Some of its plating is falling off. The Galzion hits seriously down. It is like on the edge of existence right now. It's not doing great. Okay, engineer unit. So, as the one mech is well not very happy about its situation, the engineer moves up behind. I actually didn't give this a name. Let me. Yeah, that sounds like a nice name. Okay. Yeah. I think that was balanced. Good. Yeah, no, actually, sorry. I'm just I haven't touched this since the last fight because I thought everything would be fine, but then I realized because we didn't actually have the fight, there was 1 or 2 things I forgot to fix. So the one engineer moves up behind its unit, and it basically its arm, one of its arms completely open up into this big like spindle of tools, and it starts to knit together the metal, and it's got like this little welding torch that goes over it, and you see some of the fires extinguish as that happens. The other unit, yeah, I think the other unit's actually going to just do that as well. Let's have that happen. Okay. Let's have that happen. Good. Oh wow, that's just pitiful. That's pitiful. The other unit comes up, but because of the hail of Galzion and Illyrian, it's kind of suppressed. All the bullets flying around it. The other one just walks off into the distance. Just keeps walking. Doesn't care.
Chasing its Hulk.
Sorry, Jonas?
Chasing on Hulk.
You keep cutting out for me, Jonas. I'm sorry.
Chasing its own Hulk.
Oh, sorry. Yes, there you go. Chasing its own Hulk. Perfect. Oddie, what you want to do?
5. So steady aim gives you double AB, right?
Yeah. Steady aim gives you double whatever your current AB is. Your character AB, not your gun AB. So your current AB should be like 3 or something? Well, it doesn't really matter there, does it? Are you shooting that the red one again?
I'm actually shooting the purple one.
Ah, okay. So you get plus 8 damage and then 11 damage. Okay, nice. So
I actually hit the purple one with 15
yeah, you hit the purple one, the 15. It's a lighter unit.
because I actually added my extra 3 modifier.
Oh, you actually added it as a modifier. Oh, good, clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. You got it. Yeah. So the engineers don't have very much armor. They're relatively light on it in a sense. So you open fire with your. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, Oddie. Okay. You open fire with you pull. Okay. You lift up your SMG. You see and you notice that obviously the purple one is repairing it, and you're like, that cannot be allowed to happen. And you just aim and squeeze with precision, and just a number of little Illyrian orbs go right through the thing's arms and some of its chest armor. And it sparks and it explodes and there's fire and things, and it's very much not happy. And it like backs away. It's getting pelted by this Illyrian. Okay, that's it. Okay, abstruse.
All right. I'm not sure if I can do this, but I'll try. If I can find my character sheet.
Sure. It's all fine. Oh, and of course, Jonas, in the meantime, you obviously tell Gralno to prep to get the hell out of there.
I probably do this. Yes.
You want to do a stealth check?
To climb upon the ship to while they don't know.
Yeah, while they're
and
distracted.
fire from there.
Okay. So while they're firing at the other guys, you climb up onto the ship. Okay, climb up onto the ship. Where are you gonna go?
Climb atop the ship so they won't know my current location, and then continuously fire until I guess they realize it.
Sure. Well, climb up. Move onto the
Should I
ship.
move right?
You're gonna have to drop your ride shield. You can't carry your ride shield up onto the ship when you climb up onto it. But the ship's top has some nice steel things, so you get a bit of cover anyway. You get like +1 AC.
How much AC?
Probably like 1 cover because there's just bits of metal and it's not very tall.
And provided they also don't see me yet.
Yeah, but I mean.
Still throw for a few turns.
Yeah, well they're not gonna shoot at you. Yeah, they're not gonna see you. Okay. All right. Is that all you're gonna do?
Actions?
Sorry?
They're not going to see you unless they have cameras in the room.
How many actions?
Yeah, they're not gonna see you until you attack them, literally. Otherwise, they will not. And yeah, unless they have cameras.
But do they know the direction of attack since I climbed it?
Well, they'll probably see it once you shoot. Anyway, Abstruse, it's basically an action to climb, and then so you climbed up, and you can still make like a little bit of movement, or you can shoot if you want to. But I mean, shooting is going to give away your position immediately. In theory. I mean, you gave a nice stealth roll, so just take a shot if you want to. They might not notice immediately.
I was intending for them to not recognize my position.
Well, I mean, if you shoot
like
from
pro
it.
snipers.
Yeah, well, you're not in a great pro sniper position. It's like a relatively cramped goal. Anyway, give it a try. Go on. Take a shot if you want to. Do you want to shoot, or what do you want to do? You still have like one action. Okay, cool. Wow, 19 with the Solomon hand rifle. Excellent. Who are you shooting?
You know, while the green's not looking, or yes, whichever one isn't looking here, just shoot them. They may not notice.
Abstruse, you gotta tell me who you're shooting. Come on, is it blue? Is it red? Purple. You're shooting purple.
Isn't he already damaged?
He's already damaged, yeah. Do you want to shoot purple?
Purple.
Okay, good. Okay. You take a nice shot with your Solomon hand rifle. Right through the thing's head. And you see this lovely little spark of things and a lovely little burst of flame. The Solomon hand rifle is actually just a kinetic. It's just a kinetic pistol. It's not really it's not an Illyrian or Gazan or anything like that. Nice little bullet just goes right through. Nice heavy slug. And the bot is just knocked off. It's just knocked off its kilter, and like after all the Illyrian, all the things, it falls over onto its back. And it's just gonna have a little not a snail.
That coming from where or when?
Well, who knows? Okay, Super Busy, go for it.
And with that, I'm afraid it's time.
Is it time?
I mean, yeah, look at the clock.
Okay, well then one last thing. Would you all kindly direct your attention to the far right? Actually, let me reveal this area a little bit more than it was already. So, down the hallway, this might give you guys PTSD, I don't know. But from the hallway comes marching this massive freaking thing.
Sake! No! No! Jeez! So it's what's talking about? Good to know.
No, the one we thought, I swear, was Yolanda.
I'll explain how it makes sense one day, but not right now.
It's just more salvage material. We'll be right.
Sorry, Super Busy?
We're leaving.
Yeah.
We are out. We are fucking out.
Okay.
Get me to the ship, find me an air exchanger, everything will be fine.
Yes, Super Busy, I agree. Everything always comes full circle, Jonas, Audie. Some things always return.
Question is this the same one we actually fought, but we're in the past?
I'll let you figure that one out yourself. The one that you guys fought, you completely destroyed. So this is.
That's why I said we're in the past.
Yeah, sure. Oh, sure. Why not? You guys.
This event's before the Free Roam existed, or before our Free Roam squad went.
Okay, let's end it. Let's end it. Okay, so good. And on that massive bloody cliffhanger, let me zoom into this silly thing. For the sake of the poor old audience. There we go. That's the massive machine that's walking down this corridor. And until next time, everybody, cheerio.
I'm like,